people ask me where I get all my energy from the stage to the studio and to my desk. I am the energy god, and you can be one too.
You're listening to Adesope Live, the Afrobeats Podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to a special edition of Adesope Live, the official Afrobeats Podcast, right here in Accra, Ghana, the 3 Music TV studios, the fantastic studios that is currently the home of Adesope Live, the official Afrobeats Podcast in Ghana. Of course, brought to you by the Energy God, the drink owned by a black man. And make sure you drink that and be yourself. I am in the studio here. Before I even introduce the person I'm in the studio with, make sure you keep subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing. We appreciate the support. That's giving us a bigger platform to promote our artists, our entertainers, our creatives, and giving us a bigger voice where we can empower ourselves. Now, back to the reason why I'm here at the 3 Music Studios in Accra, Ghana, with a special guest. This is a talented singer, songwriter, vocalist out of Ghana that I found on social media. This is somebody that I believe embodies youth, freshness, and one of the reasons that keeps us getting excited about our music culture. New emerging talent all the time gives us a reason to continue doing what we do. I found her on social media. Her voice spoke to me on a record with Sarkodie, and I reached out to my sister Angie at Links Entertainment, and I said, get me this lady. I'm speaking about none other than the beautiful, delectable, and very vocal Cina Soul.
Wow. What an
intro. You like the intro,
I
huh?
love it.
Hey, listen, it's very important that we make our guests feel important. And also, when you introduce someone to the rest of the world, you let them know why that person is important for that conversation. Like I said, I found you online. You know, I was introduced to your music. I probably listened or played your music a couple of times on radio, but it never sunk in until I found it myself. Yeah. The simple question will be, who is Cina Soul?
It's a simple question, but it's big.
Please,
it's big.
Take your time.
So my real name is Queen Cina, and Cina comes from Queen Cina. And I'm a singer, songwriter. I'm learning to be a producer, hopefully really soon.
Wow.
I've been doing this for a while. I've been doing it full-time for about 6 years.
Wow.
I'd like to say I'm versatile. I don't like to be boxed up. I've been dabbling around with different sounds, different genres. Like whatever comes to me, I record. I don't limit myself when it comes to being in a studio. I just do what I feel from my heart, from my mind, from my dreams, wherever. Yeah.
Wow, that's an amazing introduction. One of the first things that popped up to me when I started to do research is that you initially appeared on a talent show.
By mistake, I would say.
Talk to me about that. How did that happen?
Oh boy!
And what talent show was that?
It was Vodafone Icons.
Yes.
It was a big deal. They don't really do it anymore, but it was a big deal. And honestly, I've never really been that competitive person. It was my friends that said, you know what, you can sing. You've been hiding. You've been singing in the bathroom for a long time. Today is the audition for this show. We want you to try. I said, nope, I'm not going. They literally came to my house, forced me out of bed, made me dress up, and took me to Labadi, I think it was Labadi Beach Hotel at that time. And like, okay, Cina, what song do you want to sing? Think about it, right? Because you're already here. Think about it. Like, guys, I don't want to do this. And I'm not going to lie. My little prayer in my mind was to not get through. That's how bad I didn't want to do the audition. But I'm like, you know what? I'm already here. There's like thousands of people here. I'm like, how am I going to make? Like, are you guys sure? But I made it through. I got picked. I was mad.
What song did you sing?
I actually sang Bamidele by Asha. Yeah.
No way. Can you do just a little bit of that? Because I can't even remember.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I had to trick you so I could hear that voice. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm listening.
But yeah, I did that song, and the judges went crazy. I think that day, I think Manifest was one of the judges. There was Miss Na, I think Gina West, and they were like, "Who's this? Oh my God!" And I was like, "You guys are probably overreacting." But I was shaking. I'm not gonna lie, I was shaking. But I made it through to the auditions, made it through to boot camp, to the finals.
Wow. Which was live television, obviously.
Live television, and mind you, I had never sung to even 10 people in my life.
Wow.
And the very first time I sang to people was on TV.
Wow.
So much pressure, but my family and my friends were like there for me, with me, encouraging me. I even fell sick somewhere down the line.
Wow.
But I kept pushing. I didn't win, but I made it to the final 5.
Okay.
And that's how it started for me. That's when I was like, wait a minute. Hold on.
It looks like this thing could really happen.
It could happen.
You said you had been singing, obviously, in the bathroom, in the bed. A lot of us tried that. A lot of us I thought I was Chris Brown at the time. You know what I mean? I thought I had the vocals to go with it.
Oh, my God.
But it really didn't work out that way. Talk to me about your early memories of even attempting your vocals at home.
So my dad can sing. My sister, my big sister can sing. We are 3 girls. We can all sing. So I noticed I could sing at a very early age in my life. But I don't know, for a reason I wasn't focused on that. Even though I knew I could sing. I would hear a Michael Bolton song, a Whitney Houston song, and I would try my best to sound or
those notes.
To hit those notes. It wasn't working, but I was trying. And I think that's what held me till now, because trying to imitate is learning.
Absolutely.
And that's why I can do all those things I can do now. But my dad has been like my biggest influence, because he would literally pick you up, put you on the dining table, sing a note, and ask you to repeat it back to him.
Wow.
And he would force you to go sing in church. I hated singing in church. I did not like choir. I did not. I just knew the talent was there, but I liked to dance. When I was younger, I liked to dance. I liked to play table tennis. I was a 100-meter and 4x100 meter.
Wow.
I liked sports. So I don't know, for some reason I wasn't focused on, like, I was singing, but I was like, yeah, because everyone in my house can sing, so I didn't think it was
think it was special. Absolutely.
Yes, I think that was it. I didn't think it was special.
And what was the family dynamics like? What was your background like? Talk to me about home and growing up and your parents.
I love my family. Like I said, my dad used to sing, and not professionally,
Yes.
just at church, at home, and he would teach us. And the funny thing is, my big sister, actually, that's like the oldest in the family.
Yeah.
She used to sing. She used to sing backup for a couple of artists. She
Wow.
sang backup for 4x4.
Wow.
For, I think, Tiny. And so she started a career in music, actually. And for some reason, she's like, let me just sit back and just focus on a corporate job. And from there, I took it on. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. And that's how my journey started. But yeah, home, music, I've always loved music. And I remember writing a song all the way in class 4.
Wow.
Yes, and I remember getting songs in my dreams at a very early age.
Do you get melodies in the dreams, or is it just
time.
lyrics?
Actually, most of the times it's melodies. Melodies come to me easier than lyrics. So I would wake up, like, force myself out of a dream.
Not to miss that melody.
Not to miss that melody.
Wow.
To quickly find my phone and record. I actually have some recordings, like dream melodies on my phone. And I probably have recorded one. I think I probably have. But yeah, that's me. It's kind of weird, but...
Nah, talent and gifts are all weird. My father says, peculiarity is a sign of greatness.
Wow.
Being peculiar with something makes you special. So it's a blessing that's happened.
Yes.
You talked about being on this incredible talent show that the whole world in Ghana saw, where artists and superstars were made. In our minds, when you don't win a talent show, a lot of the people that came second, third, fourth, and fifth just fizzle away, go into their 9-to-5 jobs, and in some cases just forget the music business. Some become successful, others don't. With you making it to the top 5 and coming out of that show, how was it going forward to say, maybe this can still work? What were the signs, and what was the story around that time?
I think one thing I keep saying is probably not winning put some fire underneath me. Because that was the moment I was like, wait a minute, I didn't win. I would show them why I should have won.
Wow.
So maybe if I had won, I probably
You'd have rested on your laurels.
I'll be, okay, I won. Now what? But the fact that I didn't win, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do this. But the hardest part, and I think every artist talks about this, is finding yourself. I mean, everyone can sing, but finding your sound or finding what makes you unique or makes you stand out in the industry.
Yes.
That was the journey for me after the competition. I'm like, okay, Cina, you can sing. Now what? What would make you? What would make people listen to you? What would your sound like? So from that moment, I realized, okay, I need to go to the studio.
Yep.
Because the more you record, the more you find what you're comfortable doing. So recording, scrapping it. Oh, I don't like this. Recording, hear my voice for the first time on a record. I'm like, oh, what is this? So I tried my hands on a couple of covers first. I actually did a cover of the song I sang, Bami Dele, the Asha song, and I did an Efia song, and I did a couple other songs, trying to test my voice. And in that moment, I think about 3-4 years later, I dropped an EP. I call that EP an experiment because I was still in that moment of finding myself. So from that period on, I was like, okay, just finding myself, finding my sound. And the thing is, I was in school during all that time.
So pressures of education.
God, the balance was crazy. I probably filled a couple of papers because I had to do something in relation to music. So I'm like, oh God, but I wanted to do this. I found so much love for music. I think I even sang backup for a couple of people during that same period of finding myself. So it was just a crazy musical journey. Sang in a reggae band for a bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was basically just Cina learning different genres of music. I noticed you mentioned the likes of Michael Bolton and Whitney Houston, and who were the direct inspirations for Cina Soul?
Oh, plenty. Oh God, like I said, Whitney Houston, Beyonce, Rihanna. Oh my God, I could relate my voice to Rihanna's voice a lot because I kind of have that nasal tone a little bit. Toni Braxton because of the depth. Plenty. Asha, Efia, all these people. Sia. God, Sia, Adele.
Wow.
These are people
Now,
that
listen.
singers.
So let's talk about it. Yes, Cina Soul, the name definitely gives it that you're definitely a singer with soul. But now you've mentioned inspirations that are singers. You're talking, Whitney Houston. You're talking Toni Braxton. You're talking Adele. Different vocal textures, but power in their voices. Now, those are successful entertainers who have done it internationally. It was easy to sell Americans and Brits to us in Africa. Yes, you mentioned Efia. But in that line of a genre, of a type of musician, who had done it successfully here that made you feel that maybe I could do it too?
Here, definitely, I think Efia. Because, oh my God, she can sing.
No, she's different.
She sang her way to where she is right now. She didn't have to bend to no rule. She just sang her heart out the entire time. So I was like, okay, if Efia can do it and sing, and people would love her, and people would give her that title of legend, of queen mother, of I can do it too. So at that point, it was Efia for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you said you dropped an EP that was an experiment.
Yes.
After that experiment, coming out of that experiment of finding who Cina Soul is, your own voice, your type of music, how would you describe your type of music now?
Oh, I think my name says it all. I'm Cina Soul. Whatever the sound, even if it's dance music, if it's Afrobeats, you would hear that soul.
Talk that talk.
Yeah. No matter what I touch, the soul, you feel something. And that's, I think, a gift that God gave me, and I'm just going to use it all the time.
Afrobeats has become incredibly successful. Elements of high life, elements of hip life, elements of hip-hop, R&B. Is there pressure from the success of genres like Afrobeats, for Cina now, for example, to want to tailor or fine-tune her music to that sound, even though it might not show your vocal ability the way we would usually know it? Is there pressure?
Oh, let me see. No pressure. Only because I would say at first Afrobeat wasn't very vocal.
Yes.
But now the boys and the girls are
Yeah. Shout out to them, Kwame and Kiddy and
Kwame. We can go to Nigeria.
King Promise. You can go to Nigeria and have
Mr. Drew. We
Yep.
have Fireboy. We
Absolutely.
have Camido. They
Absolutely.
are actually singing,
vocally playing.
And it's on Afrobeats, and
Facts.
and I'm like, listen, this is my time.
Absolutely, I love that.
Because they are not bending, they are not.
I love that.
Reducing their vocals or not doing all the riffs and the runs, because they are doing it on the Afrobeat.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, it's time.
I like
It's
that.
time.
I like
so
that.
no pressure at all. I'm loving this moment.
That's
actually.
brilliant. Now, Ghana has become a sense or a place of culture and source for not only, foreigners or musicians, creatives. What is Ghana to you? How important is Ghana to a Cina Soul? And just talk to me about what this beautiful place adds to a creative like you.
Ghana is home. Ghana is everything. I'm from Jamestown, which is Accra. I'm Ga. Actually, Gans are from Ile-Ife in Nigeria.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is where I find my power. This is where I find my spirit and my soul. So there are some times that when I don't feel myself, I'll literally get in a car, go to where I'm from, which is not too far from the beach. It's actually by the seaside. Sit there, and I feel connected. I dropped an EP 3 years ago called Gamashi, and I did that tape for my people, the Ghana people, where I'm from. And I needed that inspo. I needed that to feel their spirit, to talk to the people, to eat their food, dance with them, bathe with them. So whenever I'm feeling unmotivated or uninspired, I go back there. And this is Ghana. This is where I'm from. This is Accra. So I don't think I would ever leave that behind in my music. You would always, even if I'm not speaking the language, you would hear it in instrumentation. You would hear it in maybe the way I will pronounce or I will sing it run. You hear, okay, this is high life, even though she's singing Afrobeat. I can't leave it behind. This is where I'm from. I can't even choose to. It's always going to be there for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's brilliant. Listen, you've mentioned EPs and projects that you've dropped. You've worked with a lot of beautiful musicians here. One is my younger brother, Kiddy, and so many others. But there was an impact that touched me differently when I heard you on a record with King Sarkodie. Talk to me about what Sarkodie means, a Sarkodie collaboration means to a Cina Soul, and how that song in particular happened.
Ooh, pressure. When the king calls, you have to deliver. You have to deliver ASAP. I think he probably sent the song today. He probably got it by evening.
Talk.
That's how fast I wanted to work for the king. I've always, the first time I met Sarkodie, I was in secondary school. Wow. I don't think he even knows the story. But I was in secondary school, and he came to perform in my school in the Brie Girls. And I think it was his little cousin was in that school as well. Yeah. And she knew I loved him. And she was like, do you want to meet him? I'm like, yes. So, I was literally the only artist to get the opportunity to go backstage, to go shake hands with Sarkodie.
Wow.
And that was the very first time I met him. Fast forward, Sarkodie calls me on the song. They send me the song. I'm like, listen, I'm about to kill it. I remember when they sent me this, I'm like, okay, it's about to go down. I racked my brain. Different melodies came. I'm like, nope. Then finally, the final one that we hear today came. I'm like, this is the one. I remember I called my manager. I'm like, listen, I have an idea. It's like, if you have an idea, let's go to the studio this evening. Let's go. Let's just go right now. I'm like, okay, let's go. Rush to the studio. That was it.
And did you get any feedback from him when you sent it for? Was it like, I need you to tweak this, or was it like?
No, it was Just right. Like
Just
the next
leave
day, I got a call. Cina, you killed it. I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, because it could get rejected, and I was ready for that. I'm like, okay, whatever happens, if he says no, I'll do it again. If he says no again, I'll do it again. So I was just ready. I'm like, I didn't want to feel like, okay, this is the one he's going to love, and no, I can't give myself that, But I knew the verse was good, but he's still the king.
Absolutely.
He has experience. He knows what he wants to hear already.
Absolutely.
So when I got the feedback that he loved it, I was like, oh, yes.
Is that one of your checklist, bucket list
yes.
collaborators? What other names across Africa that you might like to listen? They watch this podcast, and I also have a few friends in high places.
Oh, my
so what
days.
names will come? A few names that will come to mind across Africa that you might like to get in the studio with.
I want to do a song with Burna.
Whoo!
Bad. That's. Oh my God.
You already know.
already
You hear
daydreaming.
what it feels like.
Yes. I feel like it will be magic. I love Burna Boy. He's also a proper vocalist.
Yeah, no, he's
and
different.
He's oh my God, and he's dancing, and
It's
he's
different.
still singing.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, I want to do a song with Burna so bad. With Wiz, with Tiwa, with Simi, with Ira as well. Oh God, she's gorgeous and beautiful voice. Yes, and of course, and plenty Ghanaian artists with Stonebwoy.
That's another one. That's
yes,
special.
That's special.
He's
I do
special.
have a song with Efia already. It's not out yet, but it would be. Black Sheriff. I wonder what Cina and
Different.
Black Sheriff song would sound like actually.
Listen, what I can tell you is that both of them are vocalists.
Yes.
In their different styles. and now that, you've had all this growth, you've had all this success, introduction, now you're having a different introduction with myself on the Afrobeats Podcast, a different audience. 2022 is closing up. What is 2023? What should we expect from Cina coming up next?
I'm so excited. I can't wait. I can't wait to show everyone what they've been waiting for. Everyone's praying. Everyone that's been following me from day one is praying for that breakthrough moment for me.
Yes.
I'm praying for that for myself. But I have faith.
I think it's come.
Yeah, I believe it.
I think it's come.
I mean, being here right now,
Absolutely. I
all
think it's
these
come.
little moves that I do not, I sometimes we overlook it. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, well, but these moves, being here right now,
Yeah.
they're all doors.
Absolutely.
Leading to 2023, and I think it's going to be massive.
Are we expecting an album, a project?
Oh, boy.
Or are you just going to be firing off with
Let me
singles?
see. Okay. So
What's management sanctioning off?
Management wants an album.
Okay, I like that.
They do. They feel like it's time.
Yeah.
It's time for a project, a full album for Cina. I think I'm ready for
Okay.
an album as well. But obviously, I'll drop a couple of singles
Yeah.
first and then give them the album maybe the middle of the year.
Yeah. Listen, that sounds exciting. I think from what we've heard so far from you, what we've seen so far from you, is that you have incredible talent.
Thank you.
There's something special about your voice, about your personality. There's something special about your talent. And as always, when spotlight hits talent, it does wonderful things. I think you're about to hit the next level. The collaboration with Sarkodie was a television channel in itself. And that has opened doors to people like myself wanting to know who you are. 2023 will be bigger. Some of those collaborations you called will happen. And this conversation, we will have it again in London
Yes.
in 2023.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for my beautiful guest, Cina Soul.
Woo!
And before you go, just introduce yourself, your Cina Soul, blah, 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 and you're watching the Afrobeats Podcast.
Okay, where am I looking?
So, guys, where can she look for that? I want her to do a quick introduction. Guys, hello, guys, in the gallery. Okay, so you can look this way and just introduce yourself. You ready?
Okay, so are we listening or watching? Listening.
Look where? Straight ahead. So, which top? Oh, where she's looking at. Yes.
Here?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can play with your vocals as well, you know. Yeah, and you're watching the Afrobeats Podcast. Yeah.
Over me, eat it over me. your love they over. Maybe your love they over. Hey guys, my name is Cina Soul, and you're watching the Afrobeats Podcast. Podcast.
One more time.
I do one more time.
Yeah.
So do I have to sing again?
No, just say you're watching the Afrobeats
Okay.
Podcast.
Okay. Hey guys, this is Cina Soul, and you're watching the Afrobeats Podcast. Love you. Mwah!
If you over me, that song. And then when you went into your voice, your own kind of thing,
The verse.
you killed that.
Thank you.
The Afrobeats Podcast.
Right.